Having so many of my life milestones like totally humiliated by clothing, that is when I was like, I am not f***ing around with this anymore. We are fixing this. No one else can possibly go through this. That is a travesty, and I really felt anger about it. I was angry. I don't feel good about that. Like, it's not fun for me to look back on like little kid photos and be like, look how cute he was. It's like, look how humiliated this person was. And it was simply clothing. Like, clothing does not have to be that complicated. I'm James Ford. I'm originally from Kentucky, born and raised, and I live in LA now. And who am I? That's a tough question. I think I'm just like a weird guy who like didn't have a lot of cool clothes for a long time, and now I finally learned to make them. I grew up on job sites with my dad. I went to school in Colorado for construction. I worked in construction for 4 years after college. And then I was like, this is not a great day-to-day job for me. Also, like, I wasn't that great at it. So I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew it wasn't construction. So I went back to school. I used my construction degree. I found a job at USC. And while I was doing that, I put myself back to school. I found fashion while I was doing that. So I took like garment construction and costume design, this really cool like textile weaving workshop. And I was like, all right, this is kind of working. So like, I don't have that experience with fashion, but I guess I had a knack for it and I was good enough at it using my construction skill set, just applied to like color and shape a little differently. And so I got pretty good pretty fast, and now I'm here. The comparison of construction and fashion design is, I think, quite similar. My dad and I talk about this fairly often, actually, that really you have just a drawing on like a napkin or whatever. You have a sketch. That is all you have. You have some lines on paper, and you have to make it into a physical thing in the real world, and you have raw materials at your disposal. You're using line and shape and color and texture to sort of like create a mood. Does my queer identity subconsciously influence my work? I think the answer is like emphatically yes. Like, I don't think it could not influence it even if I tried. Subconsciously is probably the perfect word for it. I don't design anything where I'm like, this is for a lesbian and this is for a gay man and this is for specifically, you know what I mean? Like, I've never thought that. I've also never intentionally designed for any gender. And not that I was like, this will be genderless. I just forgot about it. And I was like, I'm just gonna not mention it. So if you go on my site, I just don't address it, and not in a way that's like, we're not gonna talk about this, but in a way that's like, I forgot, which is like a very free way that I live. When people meet me, they don't know I'm trans unless they know me, right? And they think that like the way that I design is the same. It's like, I think that gender really only comes into my designs on a need to know basis. I'll have clients who come in for a custom suit, let's say, and it's like, well, are you planning like top surgery in the next year? I want to know that because I can make this suit work for you after top surgery. So other than that, the masculine and feminine design aspect of it, it's all jumbled together for me.
This is like the actual process of me making stuff. I sort of just put it on me and see if I like it. But I think this would be cool in like a line up and down on your sweater. So that's what I got. Big plans for that. If I had access to a shirt that fit when I was a little kid, there would be a lot more photos that I could look back on myself and not be totally devastated. You can look at photos of me as a little kid and you can see this person is so uncomfortable. You can see it. Like, I don't need to say anything. Like, you can look at photos of me at my 5th grade graduation and I'm wearing a butterfly dress from Limited 2. It's like the early aughts. Everything is butterflies, everything is sequins, everything is lavender. And I'm a trans kid. They don't have a boys section. I was assigned female birth, so my parents took me to the girls store. I mean, I physically would like recoil. I would rather wear a sheet. Like, cover me up, this is horrible, I feel exposed, I feel inappropriate. I felt like what I was doing was wrong. Formal wear is the most binary category. It is gowns or it is suits, and there's no bridge anywhere in between there. And so I got into suiting because like this was such a problem for me. Fashion wasn't like, you know what we should do for people who need it is stop being so wildly polarized. I have a big problem with the word gender neutral that clothing companies now use. I think gender equal is a more appropriate term. If you neutralize gender in fashion, that does not help anyone. It is damaging to everyone, and I think for me as a trans person, that takes away masculine tools
so that I can't dress masculine anymore. It's like, I don't want to take tools away from people. I want to give you more tools. Gender equal is really important because to me that means you have equal access to feminine silhouettes, masculine silhouettes, feminine colors, feminine shapes, masculine shapes, and any mix between. So you are free then to shop wherever you want. It's just a rack of clothes. So like, my stuff is loud and it's colorful and it's vibrant, and I do think it's reflective of like who I want to be and who I am and my fashion journey, and people are responding to it.
This is my prized possession. This is an old sailboat sail, and what this is eventually gonna be, probably like some home goods stuff, you know, maybe like some window drapings or some window coverings. Rowena Social Club is, I would say, a friendly community of people who have otherwise not seen themselves reflected in fashion and can come here to sort of have like cool clothing and also like friendship. The suiting is pretty straightforward. You design it from the ground up. So you come in with me, we're gonna talk, you're gonna show me what you like in suits, you're gonna show me what you don't like in suits. We've got a ton of different fabrics and we'll build it from the ground up. A lot of people think that like, I am doomed forever to always deal and wrestle and struggle with this problem. I hate clothing and I'll always hate clothing and it sucks for me, it's always gonna suck for me, and that's just like my life story. But like, it's so not. It can be so fun, and I feel like since I've really gotten over that hump, I'm trying to like help other people get over that hump too. I would love for people to consider Rowena Social Club like the spot you go to that shows America how to dress if you are trans, genderqueer, gender nonconforming, non-binary, whatever. Everyone who has otherwise been sort of like casually ignored. So I hope that Rowena is sort of the leader for that. I would love for people to try to copycat me. I can't wait till someone rips me off. I'm very confident that no one can do it, and so I don't feel insecure or fearful of people sort of like trying to make like a copycat. I hope that it happens. That's the day I'm gonna be like, I've made it, you know?
Acceptance, self-awareness,
equality,
freedom,
joy.
Pride means resilience.
Pride is hope.
Pride means loving who you want to love and being yourself.
Pride is our moment to shine.
It's honesty and vulnerability.
A moment where we can really see solidarity around us.
Seeing yourself when no one else sees you.
Being super grateful for who you are.
So much art, so much love comes out of the community.
Keep that love in your heart.